Yeah, a few years ago I was in a very different place to where I am now, both physically and mentally. I'd stepped away from any sport or training or fitness in general, or health actually, for a long time. So when I met Reece back in, I think 2022, I was about 25 kilos heavier than I am now. He was pretty much the first coach I ever had, but it just wasn't about like just fitness. He basically rebuilt my standards inside and outside the gym, the way I trained, the way I showed up for myself, how committed and how disciplined I was with myself. And over the next kind of few years, that turned into losing the 25 kilos, doing my first half marathon, running my first marathon, competing in high rocks for the first time, and I guess really taking like sport and fitness and health seriously. But more than that, it basically changed, I guess, the direction of my life. I think without meeting Reece, Torra doesn't exist. So I think when he told me what he was about to take on, it was a real like full circle moment, and it was just something that like me personally and Torra as the brand were like super excited to get behind. And what he's choosing to do next, it isn't quick, it isn't going to be comfortable, it's not going to be easy, and you know, it definitely won't forgive you if you're not ready for that. But that's exactly why it matters to both of us. So we're going to go see him today. Got some questions on what he's going to get up to, and just have a catch up.
Yeah, it feels alright. Like things have been a little bit slow just getting back into the mechanics of actually running again. So things have like my ankles like flared up or my hips flared up or something like that. But again, it is literally just the just the pushback on starting running again, basically. Which is
You said it didn't help starting on back on the treadmill as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or on the curved runner.
Yeah. Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Good. One or two? Just one, please.
Yeah, we'll clock in about 20k.
And then what's it look like?
Next week.
Or do you, I guess you don't know really yet, do you?
I'm doing a lot of my endurance on the bike as well, because that much impact too soon is going to be crazy. It's going to kill it. So next week I know already that I've got 12k to work at tempo, and I'm probably going to have like 90 minutes worth of run.
Weeks are we out? 8?
No, not 12.
Plenty of time.
Yeah. So we'll see, mate. It's going to be.
The nerves are there already.
Yours or mine?
I'm nervous about having to potentially stay away for that one.
No. Well, I've got a thingy there as well, so like I put a room on the actual race course.
when you spend enough time running alone in solitude, things start to surface. At first, it's just the usual things, like how you're feeling, how far you've gone, how far there's left to go. The longer you stay out there, the quieter everything gets. And in that quiet, other things start to show up, such as doubt and fatigue, and those questions that you can't really avoid. There's no one around you to distract you, no noise to hide behind, just the road ahead of you and whatever's going on in your mind. And that's really the point of it, because the real test isn't how fast you go, it's about how far you can go, and it's how long you're willing to stay out there and hold it. That's why we endure these things.
So on the 15th of May 2026, I'm taking on my biggest personal challenge to date. It is the Red On Backyard Ultramarathon. For those of you that don't know what one of those is, this is the 6.7 kilometer loop that runs every hour on the hour until there's just one man standing.
And if you're committing to something like that, what does that look like?
I'm not just here to take part. I'm a firm believer in high standards and competing at the highest level. So I want to push myself. I want to see how far I can take things mentally and physically.
What has the last year looked like for you?
So the last year has been a journey. I started probably 12 months ago in preparation for this event. This isn't just going to be a short 12-week block. This has took overcoming an injury that I had as well. So I've been working with, physios and doctors. I've had scans and I've been through rehab processes just to get to be in a position to actually run again. Alongside that, I've been building up my legs in terms of strength inside the gym, working hour after hour at all times during the day just to build up that mental resilience. So we've had to get over injury. We've had to follow a specific plan to get up to speed and to get up to strength and just put the hours in repetition after repetition.
What's different about you now?
So this prep has been what I like to coin intentional. There's nothing else going on in the background, and everything that I'm doing from a training standpoint inside the gym, the endurance, the running sessions, it's all with purpose. This is being backed up with great supplementation, making sure that I'm getting everything that I need nutritionally, and making sure that I'm working sort of prehab and rehab. These are things that I personally neglected in previous events, but I knew in order to take something like this on, everything just had to level up. Get rid of the distractions, get rid of the things that weren't serving, and just solely focus all my time, effort, and energy into this particular preparation. So I've had to mature, I've had to drop my ego and just make sure that I listen to my coach, stick to the plan that's ahead of me, and just do the work that's required.
For people who don't understand it, what makes a backyard ultra so brutal?
Well, I think just from a mental standpoint, first and foremost, it's all about the repetition and how long you can endure the same patterns for, the same environment, the same people, the same terrain, the same paces that you're predicting to run at. So repetition is definitely something that will play into the mindset. You've also got to understand, your pain thresholds. How long can I endure personal pain for? How long can I be in a position where, I'm underslept, I'm massively fatigued, maybe I'm lacking resources such as hydration, food, fuel. Can I put all those feelings and emotions to one side and just focus on that task at hand? So from a mental standpoint, it's quite a big ask, and I think that's why it can be pretty brutal. I don't think there's any talent required. I think it's more about how you can control that mindset, how you can work it to your advantage, and just stay as positive as you can throughout the pain and suffering that you're going to go through. Physically with your body, obviously it's going to take a beating. The joints, muscles, tendons are all going to take a hit. It's going to be painful. And also understanding whilst doing it under fatigue, it's going to add an extra layer of stress to the body. So there's a lot that goes into it. And the fact that there's, no fixed finish. This is unlike any other event that I've ever done before, where there's, finish lines at marathons and ultras. This will literally just determine on how far I can take myself. And for me, that's why this is the perfect challenge now in my journey.
So we're talking podium.
We're talking podium, or at least top 3. If I'm in there with 3 of the best in the country, then I'll be pretty happy with that.